Hello viewers, welcome to our program on immigration and you. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us my law partner David Nachman. David, welcome.
Thanks so much, Michael. Thank you.
Before we start the program today, we would like to dedicate this program to my very close friend Dr. Vishwanath Banad, who passed away on October 30th, and we pray God to rest his soul in peace.
And may his memory be for a blessing.
God bless. Yeah. With this, let us start our program with the cutoff date for the month of December 2014. The family preferences, the first preference, which are the unmarried sons and daughters over the age of 21 of U.S. citizens, advanced by 2 weeks to June 22nd, 2007. The family 2A category, which is for the spouse and children under the age of 21 of green card holders for all countries, advanced by 3 weeks to March 22nd, 2013. The F2B category, which are the sons and daughters of permanent residents who are over the age of 21, advances by 7 weeks to February 22nd, 2008. The family third preference, which are the married sons and daughters of the U.S. citizens, advance only 1 week to December 15, 2003. And the family fourth preference, the brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, also advances 2 weeks to February 22nd, 2002. Now, before I go to the employment categories, one quick reference that I want to give, or point that I want to make, is that if you look at the family first preference, which are the unmarried sons and daughters over the age of 21 of U.S. citizens, the cutoff date is June 22nd, 2007. And the family 2B category, which are the sons and daughters of green card holders, it is now February 22, 2008. Now, it's a lot of, as the last few months, the family 2B category has been moving much faster and the family first preference very slowly. So this question comes all the time. People who applied when they were green card holders, they filed a petition for the child over 21, and they try to become U.S. citizens so that 2B will go faster. Now, unfortunately, that's not happening. The question is whether that person who's about to become a citizen probably should not and continue under 2B, or if he has already done that, already become a citizen and converted into F1, there may be an option to opt out that we want to continue the processing of our case in the 2B category. So we did discuss briefly in the last program, but we are still waiting for a written information from the head office and before we can give you more information on this point. Continuing the employment preference categories, for first priority workers are current for all the countries. Second, advanced degree holders current for most of the countries except India. India, unfortunately, no movement. Date remains the same, February 15, 2005. The employment third preference with the professionals and skilled workers for most of the countries moves very nicely, 20 weeks to November 1, 2012. But for India, only 1 week to December 1, 2003. Same thing is about the EW, the other workers category, is for all other countries. When I say all other countries, see, a lot of countries that you may be coming from, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Nepal, many countries, only 2-3 countries have a bigger backlog. So imagine, look at the difference. As I said earlier, the India is December 1, 2003, other countries is November 2012. 9 years difference. Depends on the place where you were born or your wife was born or husband was born. The family fourth preference, religious workers are current for all the countries, and fifth preference, the investment category is also current for all the countries. Now, there's some more things to talk about on this maybe in the coming program, but there's something more important that we need to talk today, and it's a very important news that we want to talk about after the midterm elections. As you know, the Republicans are now the House and the Senate, and they are highly unlikely to pass any CIR. But the President Obama says he's not going to wait anymore. For 2 years he has been waiting and giving them a chance to pass the CIR. He says, forget it, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the administrative actions as I suggested before. Question one comes in, David, people say, but does he have the authority? Of course he has the authority in the present law under which he passed the DACA, the DACA people, that students or the children who came under the age of 16. A number of all the presidents in the past have somewhat used that administrative process. And some of the core decisions that supported that. Of course, if it comes to, if Obama was going to say blanket all the illegal aliens, give them the green cards or something, that will probably violate the statutory law. Now, this is nice introduction about a subject. It's a very, very important thing. Breaking news. David, go with the breaking news and tell our viewers, what is the breaking news?
Well, the breaking news is all over the press right now, and it's not yet formal from the White House, but it seems that what happened was that a lot of information that is cutting edge was leaked to the press, so this is very important. And basically what it is that it appears that Obama's administrative actions entail the following elements. So number one, they're talking about an extension of deferred action. And the extension of this deferred action is going to go to the parents of green card and citizen children in the United States. So that's going to take into account a very large number of people. We're talking potentially about 3.3 million people. And what this does really, this element of the administrative actions that are soon to be announced they go to family unity, and that was something which sort of is one of the underlying policies of the U.S. immigration law, and that is we don't want to separate families. So keep the family together, family unity. The other thing that they're talking about is increasing funding to Customs and Border Protection, and I think what this is a quid pro quo to try to keep the Republicans and the GOP at bay, right? Because what is unfortunately the case is that obviously if President Obama does certain actions that upset the Republicans, he knows that they could lash out. And this type of lashing out could be a lawsuit which could restrain this type of action by the president. So what he's done is he's kind of given as well as taken. So the give also has to do with increasing the amount of pay of the Customs and Border Protection officers. So those were the two ways in which he gave. Additionally, there's going to be an extension of deferred action to individuals who were in the United States who were undocumented for 10 years or more. So we're not exactly sure how that's going to play out. But one of the things that you obviously could do if you're one of these people, whether it be obviously the parents of U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident children, or one of these individuals who is undocumented for 10 years or more, start to get your documents together. Same as we previously discussed when DACA was announced, start to get your documents together, start to think about talking to qualified immigration lawyers about the things that you're going to need in order to prove your case. Now, what's also going to be interesting is with regard to that 10-year period, we're going to look at how do you demonstrate your physical presence? What evidence do you show? And then there's this thing called the Flutie Doctrine as to whether or not brief or casual departures from the United States will or will not affect you. So really, this is up in the air. We don't know how it's going to be interpreted, but this is something that we're looking at very carefully. So also, I'm sorry, another element of the of this new administrative action that the president's taken is that they're going to be refocusing the activities of the government officers. So there are these enforcement officers that are out there, 12,000 enforcement agents, and what they're going to be doing is refocusing what they're going to be doing. We're not sure how it's going to be refocused, but what we hear in the news is that there is a memorandum, and it's very likely that this memorandum is going to be released to the public probably within the next several days. So this is what we're keeping an eye out for, and as soon as obviously we get that information, we're going to feed that to you so that you know what's going on.
To sum up what David said, I will simplify again. If you are a parent of a child who has been granted DACA, remember DACA is a deferred action. This is not for giving a green card or amnesty. This program is only deferring, that they cannot deport you if you qualify under this. You may also get a permission to work and hopefully permission to travel as it happened to the DACA applicants. So this is, as David said, an extension of the DACA program, which will mean that if you have a child who's a DACA approval, that's one thing. If you have a son or a daughter who is a citizen or a green card holder, you would qualify under this. Or if nothing is there, but you have been living here illegally for more than 10 years, and 10 years is still a question because there's a discussion going on whether it should be 5 years or 10 years. But whatever happens, those people who are illegally here and meet that requirement will also be eligible to apply for this. Now, a couple of other things I want to say. This President Obama has said through that press leak that they have been there, that this may happen in a week or 2 weeks. So we are very closely watching. As soon as this is out, as soon as he signs, as soon as it becomes official, we'll be back here and tell you what has to be done and what has not to be done. Also, it's every time there's a change in the law passes, administrative memos are there are a lot of bad people waiting for something like this to happen, because a scam. And these people are trying to get money from people. Oh, Obama has passed a new law. I'll get your green card. I'll get your work permit. You can now 10 years you're not going home. I'll get your work permit. Now, a lot of these people fall for these because without realizing that not even a law is there, not even an administrative memorandum has been signed by the president. We don't even know what's going to happen. Probably from tomorrow, 2-3 days, you'll be seeing some people coming in the field trying to get some people and lies to them and take money from them.
Exactly.
And putting them in more of a trouble sometimes.
Right.
They go wrong path.
Right, and we're already seeing individuals in these various communities who are reaching out and telling people that new laws have been passed when in fact they haven't yet been passed. So we will of course keep you on the cutting edge, but don't fall prey to these so-called immigration scams which Michael is telling you about, which do unfortunately run rampant. If there is a benefit out there and you can take advantage of it, of course, we're going to hopefully be able to tell you that it is, number one, true, that it's happening, and number two, that it'll be something that you'll be able to take advantage of. There are two other things, the two other things I wanted to mention also with regard to these new administrative actions that the president has announced or will be announcing. One is that there may be a fix in place for farm workers, certain farm workers. We're not sure exactly what that means. That actually harkens back to the 1986 Act when there were special agricultural worker programs. So we don't know exactly whether that's going to be, whether it's going to replicate that. The other thing is that there was discussion about the fact that there are going to be more highly skilled worker visas available, and we're not exactly sure what that means. Now, it could be that the people who leaked this information may have made a little bit of a confusion with the fact that your H-4s will possibly be able to work soon. So that's what I interpret to be going on. So it's not 100%, but again, we will let you know as soon as we hear exactly what this new memo contains.
So the Republicans are saying we're going to fight tooth and nail, and we will not let this happen. So let us say that the Republicans pass a law to negate, to cancel all these memos that President Obama is finally going to issue. But remember, even if the Congress passes the law, it doesn't become the law until President signs. And he's not going to sign. He's going to veto it. That's one thing. Then some Republicans are saying that this is not unconstitutional. He doesn't have that kind of powers to do this. So the case may go to the Supreme Court of the United States. And the Supreme Court may take a look to see, to make sure that whether he violated, does he have the authority, or these memorandums he passed, or without any authority. So it's something like that, and I don't know. I mean, we don't know how the decision of Supreme Court will be.
I see we're running short on time, but what I wanted to is point out, Michael, that this is a long-standing policy that has been going since the John Morton memo, which was passed back in 2011, and ultimately morphed into DACA. And I think that the administration and its representatives are taking a very, very close look at how to administer these administrative actions. So hopefully we won't end up in any kind of a court action. So with that, I know we need to wrap up for today. But
basically, the only little other concern some people have, what happens in 2016 If the president is also a Republican, Senate is a Republican, Congress is a Republican.
Yeah,
can
it was
they
the same
undo-
concern if Mitt Romney were to have become president in the last election, right?
Exactly,
That's
and
right.
then not renew this. But we will deal with them when the time comes and step by step. But
Exactly.
stay tuned, make sure to watch, keep watching the program, because as soon as we get the information, we'll be back on ITV and give you all the latest information. We thank you very much, David, for being on the program, and thank all of you for watching the program.
And stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and goodbye.